Hello there, it's Cool Beer here. We're talking about earned value for your PMP or CAPM exam. Let's jump straight on the whiteboard. To explain earned value to you, I'm going to use the imaginary idea of a fence, a four-sided fence. Management asked me how much would it cost to paint this fence? And I said it would cost $4,000. $1,000 for that side, 1,000 for that side, another 1K for that, and 1K for this. The budget at completion is $4,000. But when we look at earned value, we don't just look at the big old $4,000. We got to imagine the passage of time. And what that means is on day one, I'm going to paint this side of the fence and build it. Day two, that side. Day three, that side, and day four, that side. We now have a new metric. This metric is called planned value. PV for day one is $1,000. And PV for day two is also $1,000. PV for day three is also $1,000. And PV for day four is also $1,000. So what could you summarize looking at this? You can summarize that the budget at completion is the cumulative planned value. In other words, cumulative planned value is the same as budget at completion. What we're saying is if you add up all of the planned value, PV3 plus PV4, all the PVs, you're going to get the budget at completion. And that's how we get the budget at completion. But there's more to earned value than the budget at completion and planned value. There are other metrics we need to throw into the mix. Planned value is really a budgeted cost of work scheduled. That's what you're saying you're going to spend to get the work done. So to get this work done, paint the fence, build a fence, is $1,000. Now, if we assume the project has started and we know that on day one, we're aiming to get fence built and painted, then the question has to be, did you get it done? And this is where we begin to look into other metrics. So PV is just the beginning. Let's go a step further now that you've got an idea of the basics. Now we know planned value is the budgeted cost that we are scheduling for the work on day one and all the other days. We can then take one day, day one, assuming day one happens, but we're only able to complete half of the fence. Then earned value is going to be equal to the percent complete times the planned value. In other words, the work earned in terms of value is the work done. So if you did 50% of day one's work, it's 50% times 1,000, and that's $500. And that's why the earned value for day one would be $500. Now you understand earned value, planned value. There's one more metric, and the final metric is known as actual cost. So what exactly is actual cost? It's how much you indeed spent on the work that has been done. Now, even though you got 50% of the work done, it doesn't mean that you got 50% of the work done for 50% of the budget. So in this example, I'm going to give you a question that says, at the end of day one, the actual cost was $800. So now you have three metrics. You have actual cost, you have earned value, which we determined to be 500, and we have planned value, which we have deemed to be $1,000. These three metrics can be used to find what I call derivative metrics. And the derivative metrics are as follows. Look very carefully. The derivative metrics all start off with one common metric. It looks something like this. Cost Performance Index, CPI, Schedule Performance Index, SPI, Cost Variance, CV, and lastly, Schedule Variance, SV. Now, to blow these out, we would have something like this. CPI is equal to the earned value divided by the actual cost. Schedule Performance Index is equal to the earned value divided by the planned value. Cost variance is a variance, so it's a subtraction, and that will be earned value minus actual cost. Schedule Performance Index, schedule variance will be equal to earned value minus planned value. So all you need to do is substitute the numbers on the left with the equations on the right, or numbers, depending on where you're looking at it, the numbers on the right, substitute those into the equations on the left. So we're going to put in the numbers. Earned value starts off every single one of these. So we could put in the 500s into all of them. Where we have the cost, actual cost, it's going to be a division. That's 500 divided by 800, and this will be 500. What is 500 divided by 800? 500 divided by 800. That is equal to 0.625. The schedule performance index is 0.5. The cost variance, remember, these actually have dollar signs. The reason why we didn't put dollar signs on the CPI and the SPI is they would cancel anyway. But if we put all this in, we can see the cost variance is minus 300. And the schedule variance is minus 500. So what does all this mean? That's the question. Well, if your earned value is smaller than your planned value or smaller than your actual cost, it's always an unfavorable situation. So think about it like this. If SPI is greater than or equal to 1, this is good. That's the summary. But to get more specific, if SPI is greater than 1, that means you are ahead of schedule. If it's less than 1, you are behind schedule. And if it's equal to 1, you are right on target. Equal to 1, on target. And that's really what the numbers mean. So in this case, the cost performance index and the schedule performance index are less than 1. We could take the same configuration for cost, and we could say if CPI is greater than 1 under budget. If it's less than 1, it means you are over budget. And if it's equal to 1, you are right on budget. Okay. In the same vein, when it comes to our variances, we could have similar guidance and say, when the schedule variance is greater than 0, you hit a schedule. When it's equal to 0, you're right on target, or you could say on schedule if you wish. Cost performance index is greater than 0, you're under budget. Less than 0, over budget. Equal to 0, right on budget. So we can say on schedule for this. And we'll go ahead and tweak the legend on the screen. So now you understand what all of this stuff really means. You can use earned value to deduce how healthy your project is, how good you're doing. Are you on budget, over budget, under budget, and things such as that. All right, so in this example, CPI means we are over budget. Cost variance will echo that. As a check, as a sanity check, your cost variance and your cost performance index should tell the same story as to whether you are on budget, under budget, and so on. But just follow this legend and it will make sense. A lot of the PMP questions will revolve around your understanding of the numbers, your interpretation of the numbers. It's not about formulas, to be honest. It's really more about knowing what the numbers mean. So what I have on the right is very important, right here. And with that, we've come to the end of our studying of earned value. I hope it made sense. I wish you all the best in your PMP. Bye for now.